Okay, so this video is going to be about how to get to bed earlier, how to sleep better, and it's really, really important for adrenal health. So, okay, nighttime is something almost every single client of mine has an issue with, whether that's getting to bed too late, whether it's just assing out and knocking out as soon as your head rests on a pillow, but yet you still wake up feeling exhausted. But regardless of your symptoms with sleep, it's super important that you even get a good night's sleep, especially for adrenal health, which is important for both those with PCOS and Hashimoto's. Adrenal fatigue leads to a lot more inflammation, a lot more stress on the body, and no relief of symptoms. So even if you are, eating according to our guidelines, if your stress isn't managed and if you aren't getting quality sleep, it's not really going to be doing all that much for you, and it won't be a lasting result. So how do we get to bed earlier and how do we sleep better? Have a rigid plan that no matter what, you have to stick to. I would discuss this with anybody in your household. So a lot of times we feel like, oh, I don't want to bother my significant other with my own problems or whatever, but no, that's not a way that's going to lead to your lasting success. And if your partner cares about you, I'm sure that they want you to have lasting success in relieving your symptoms. So I would make everybody involved aware of how important it is that you prioritize this. Now, what does that mean? That means having a conversation with your spouse and saying, hey, I really need to get into the bed by 10 p.m., by 11 p.m., whatever. I need to do this for my health, for my adrenal health. It's important, my hormones. So let's figure out everything we have to do before then. And you can stay up if you want, but I'm going to go to bed at that time. Set a reoccurring alarm in your phone and treat it the same way you treat your alarm clock for work. It's second nature to prioritize work first. One, money. Two, other people that are holding us accountable. We don't want to let them down or seem lazy. But yet when it comes to what we do with ourselves, we're extremely lazy. And I don't mean that in the sense that it's intentional. And I don't necessarily even mean that all the way around. I mean, we decide, what's a luxury, what would be nice but seems like it shouldn't be a priority. And we put food up so high on the pedestal, but sleep and stress are huge. So if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're stressing out all the time, those things are priority. They're even more important than food. I'm not saying go out and eat donuts all day long. That is not going to get you the results you want unless you just want to be able to eat whatever you want and not care. I mean, that's fine too. But if you want relief in your symptoms, you need to prioritize the harder things, the easier seeming things, more so than the harder things, because I don't even know if that made sense. But you have to prioritize the seemingly simple stuff that just never gets done. There's a reason for that, because you've branded it as seemingly simple. It gets pushed to the back of our brain as something that yeah, it's important. I'll get to it. But you need to make it on the forefront. So decide on a time of when you're going to get to bed every night. Now, people always ask me, how much sleep should I get? Like, how many hours? I believe that that's different per person. For example, I do best on about 4 hours of deep sleep. People think I'm crazy for that, but REM cycles are 4 hours each. So it should either be like 4 or 8 hours. But honestly, you should be the better gauge of that. Are you someone who needs a lot of sleep? Are you someone who does better with less? But either way, what's more important than the amount of time is the consistency each day. That's what's important. It's better if you get a random amount of time of sleep, but you get that every day forward. That's what we're looking for. So decide on that time. Put it in your alarm clock. And I'm talking, if you need 3 to wake up in the morning, if you need 4 alarms to wake up in the morning, make the same amount for going to bed. So there's no bullshitting around it. There is no oh yeah, I'll get to bed in a minute, and then pressing dismiss or whatever. Set up be annoying to yourself, okay? It's what you need. It's what I needed too. Get into bed and have a routine. So do you wash your face at night? Do you shower at night? Do you do your gua sha, which you can check out in this e-course, in this chapter? Do you wash your face? Do you what do? Do you put your hair up? But figure out what that routine is. Simplify it as much as possible. And from what I found, there's a lot higher success if you set up a routine you can do in bed. So I mentioned sea buckthorn oil a lot and oil washing a lot. But a lot of the reason why I love doing it is because 1, you're exfoliating at night with a washcloth. 2, I do it as I'm laying in bed before I turn off my lights. 3, you're stimulating all the sinuses as you do that, and you're pushing all the lymphatic fluid down. So it actually helps to have you looking more toned in the face in the morning, and it's super relaxing. It releases the tension. Our faces, and I'll get into this more in the gua sha video, but our faces retain so much tension every day. So by releasing that with a gentle massage, I'm like imagining doing it and I'm relaxing. It's going to help you fall asleep a lot better. It'll clear your skin, you know, so I highly recommend that. And again, you can do it in bed, which is great. Take 2 glasses of water up to bed with you. I know I've mentioned this before. They don't have to be huge. They can be 6 ounces. Drink 1 right before bed and 1 right as soon as you wake up. The reason for that is we're dehydrated overnight. Our body is repairing a lot, regenerating a lot as we sleep, and we're not drinking anything for hours and hours. So definitely rehydrate. A lot of times in the morning, sluggishness is a result of that dehydration. So also, you want to limit your screen time in the evening. Like as soon as the sun sets, try your hardest to limit your screen time. This is the hardest one, I find. Whether you work like an animal like me, I'm always on my phone working, or whether you just like to browse your phone or play games on your phone, that's fine. But the light from your phone ends up causing a disruption to the sensors in your brain that would allow you to fall into a deep sleep. It's called our circadian rhythm. So that light disrupts that rhythm, which also affects our adrenal glands, which I'm going to get more into that whole thing in the coffee video. So try to either not have any screen time, which is ideal for an hour before bed. Just try it, read a book, do a craft, journal, something else if you need to keep yourself busy, but don't do screens. Or if you really, really can't do that, get yourself a good pair of screen blocking glasses. There are glasses that are formulated to block out the blue rays. They're a little pricey. A good pair is about 90 bucks. But if you really, really can't do without the screen for an hour before you're looking to fall asleep, then I'd say that's a great option. It's a good investment for you. Now, the atmosphere in which you fall asleep in is hugely important too. So you want to make sure that your room is kind of cool. It's not warm, you know, it's kind of cool, and you want to have like a nice heavy blanket. This is proven to help with anxiety and help you get a deeper sleep. Having a little bit of weight on you, weighted blankets are super expensive. So if you can swing for it, great. But if not, all you need is like a real heavy kind of down comforter, even that little bit of weight on you, or like a heavier quilt or something with a little bit of weight. So that being said, keep your room cool because you don't want to sweat at night either. Find a comfortable position to sleep in. I really, really recommend, I say this in the skin guide and time again, not only for wrinkles and skin, but also for the drainage of the lymphatic fluids and our sinuses, is to sleep on your back. Now with that though, you want to try and get a pillow that's made to support your neck. So you can find those on Amazon. I think I got mine for Christmas. It was like 40 bucks. And it's amazing. I love it so much. What else? Keep your room super dark as possible. If you're saying, oh, I'm one of those people, I need a light to fall asleep, or I need some light, get a salt lamp. Put it right next to your bed. The light is very light and diffused. It's a warm pink, obviously pink light. So it's just very calming and zen-like, and the ions from the salt itself actually help you feel a lot more peaceful and calm. So if you need any light, I would say that. Otherwise, block out any electronic light with black electric tape. You just put it over like any displays or anything like that on any cable boxes, or I don't know. Get blackout curtains if you can. And here's one that's going to really throw you guys for a loop, but it's been huge for me, is do not charge your phone in the same room. charge it in a different room completely, and just go to the dollar store. I don't want to hear, oh, it's my alarm clock. You can go get other alarm clocks. So go to the dollar store and get an alarm clock, or a watch, or I don't know. It's just, what did people do before cell phones, you know? Pharmacies have alarm clocks, I think. So get yourself an alarm clock and put your phone in a different room. When you wake up in the morning, because I say this so frequently, our mornings set up our day, but also our night. When you wake up in the morning, try to give yourself at least a half hour after waking up slowly, at the minimum, to answer any messages, to get on your phone. When you get on your phone, as soon as you wake up, even if it's just to like scroll, you're not allowing the normal cortisol process to happen within your brain, and it's actually making you more sluggish. It's actually not kicking in that cortisol in the morning that's supposed to kick in and help you get up and get going. That combined with coffee, which I have the video, and dehydration equals exhaustion in the morning. So definitely try your best. Don't hop on your phone. I don't care if you have the most rigorous job in the freaking world. You can wait to look at emails and messages. You're not on the clock at that point. You're not being paid for that time. So be freaking nice to yourself and take your time. When you wake up in the morning, wake up gently, stretch out. Stretch your top half, stretch your lower half, nothing crazy. You don't have to go do a yoga routine, but doing that causes the blood to start flowing. So with that comes a lot more energy, a lot more even hormone distribution throughout the day, so you feel better. And it's just a nice way to start the day, a nice relaxing way to start the day. That, combined with eating, combined with the proper planning in the morning, because your mornings set up your day and your night, all of this combined together will get you on a good cycle when it comes to sleep, adrenal health, and ultimately our hormones.